Well, there it is. The Mustang is going to its new owner. Yes, sir. We'll go home and talk about it. Bye-bye, Mustang. Until next time. So yes, I sold my 2024 Mustang Dark Horse. Now, why did I sell it? There's quite a few reasons why. One reason I will tell you right off the bat is not affordability. I clearly could afford the car, but I didn't put things together correctly when I first bought that car in terms of what am I really going to do with it and how much is that going to cost? Because if you're new to the channel and haven't been around for very long, I've had some very fast cars in the past 4 or 5-ish years. I've had a 900 plus horsepower Hellcat.
2015 Challenger. Like I haven't looked at it. 714 at 105.
I've had a 750 plus horsepower 2017 Camaro ZL1. I've had what was my previous vehicle that I probably shouldn't have got rid of, but I did, was a 2019 Mustang GT that was P1X Pro Charge, pushing over 800 rear wheel horsepower. I've had some pretty fast cars, and I'm always trying to push the limit, so to speak, always trying to build cars, make them quicker. And the Dark Horse ultimately did not make sense. And here's why. So the Dark Horse, like base price, which is basically what mine was, it had a couple little options to it, but didn't really increase the MSRP that much. It was like $62,500. I bought it brand new right off the lot. Now, a Whipple kit is $10,000, and you can only use Whipple's tune. And of course, you have to get long tube headers with no cats, just for track use, right? EPA for watching, it's just for off-road track use. Because you can blow out the cats. People have been blowing out cats in their Whipple tunes on their 2024 Mustangs and or Dark Horses. So you have to get headers, right? You need a new wheel and tire setup on the rears. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it's about $15,000 to $20,000 extra all in to get the car right where I want it to be, running mid 5, 60 to 130, if not better, with some weight reduction. Because my Mustang before this was running mid 5s, and even the owner after me was running even better times. I knew that car had a lot in it, but I was just on the tipping point of doing that. But I got rid of the car before I was really going to go all in on the car. But I knew it was going to run ridiculous times, upping the PSI just a little bit more because it had more in it due to the fuel system. The next owner did that, and it was running almost mid 4s, 60 to 130. Guys, that's insane. That's insane. That's a fast, quick, whatever you want to say, car. That car was ridiculous. And the fastest car in my town. It would be, at least. It kind of was already, but that's neither here nor there. So the Dark Horse, right? It just, for what it is, I hate to say it, it's nothing special. It is kind of a marketing scheme from Ford in the sense that they made it seem so Billy Badass of a car, and it really isn't. It's really no different other than the GT 500 rods. It's really no different in terms of engine performance than a regular 2024 GT. So you're probably seeing where I'm going with this. For me, and what I want to do with the cars and what I want to do moving forward is get a vehicle that makes sense to go fast. It makes sense. It does not make sense to get some weird, upscaled, overpriced version of a car when the regular version makes more sense to do. Because the Dark Horse values aren't very high anymore. I'm glad I sold mine via private sale because I got a lot more money than what the trade-in was going to be. I think I sold my car for $57,500 private sale. Trade-in would have been $53,000. That's not great whatsoever. And I can't even imagine the GTs, but the GTs are cheaper to begin with, and that makes a little bit more sense. The Dark Horse is a somewhat limited production vehicle because they have production numbers on the actual dash itself and within the car. Um, Ford's only going to end up making so many of those. But again, there's really not that much special between the Dark Horse versus a GT if you're solely trying to go fast. If you're solely trying to go fast. So it just didn't make sense. Whippling that thing, having a stupid high monthly payment, and then the Whipple, it just didn't make sense. Sure, if I kept the Dark Horse stock and I was happy with it, fine. But I'm not. I we're I always push the boundaries and the limits of vehicles. Like I said with my previous vehicles, I always like doing things to my cars, and it just didn't make sense from this standpoint. Now, here's another thing that's a little bit more exciting in terms of the channel. My work car, which I'm in my work car right now, my work car program is going to be changing. And they're going to be giving me corporate America, blue collar stuff, where they're going to give me a stipend every month so I can go out and get a vehicle, and they'll pay me mileage also, which I don't know if you guys are aware. Mileage is like 65 cents per mile next year. Like, I'll be making money off traveling for work as well. So we'll be able to bring two vehicles that are super cool to the channel. So I was thinking about maybe getting a 2024 GT, throwing Whipple on that because it makes sense. And it gets the 315 rear gears. That's good for roll racing in Mexico. And that's just good for avoiding seventh gear altogether. The 355 rear gears, which are the lowest gears you can get on the Dark Horse, you're going to be hitting seventh gear, unfortunately, when you're in Mexico or on the drag strip. And that's a no-no. That's a one-way ticket to grenading your transmission. I would be lying if I said that wasn't part of the reason why I sold the car. I'd be lying if I said that was not a part of the reason why I sold the car. Because if I did Whipple it, right, I was playing with fire, or I would be playing with fire, shifting into seventh gear every single time. And you lose a lot of time when it comes to 60 to 130s and quarter mile times, shifting into seventh as well, because the car bogs so far back, it's not even funny. We don't have custom tuning either. So it's all up to the Whipple tuning. So you're looking at all in with the 2024 Mustang GT. If you do wheels and tires on the rear, like a drag pack, you do my headers. The headers are like $1,500, and then the Whipple kit, which is $10,000. And I would install this stuff myself. I'm pretty inclined. You're looking at what? So 42,000 plus 10, that's 52,000. 53.5, and then wheel and tire set. Let's just say 2K, $55,500 all in on a pretty decent setup. When you add that to a Dark Horse, you're looking over what, 62.5, and it was 10, that's 72 and a half, and then 1,500, that's 7,400, an extra 2K. You're looking at $76,000 all in versus 55.5. No brainer, just no brainer for going fast. And then going for the second vehicle on the channel, we could do a BMW M240i all-wheel drive. Those things are insane. You could also do the new 2025 Golf R. The refresh on the outside and the inside interior tech is really cool. You could do a Nissan Z. Nissan Zs are running really good times on stock block, stock trans. Maybe we could do a BMW X3M. Those things are pretty stout, pretty cool. So overall, because I sold the Dark Horse, I'll be able to bring two really cool vehicles, no matter what it may be. I may not do the Mustang, or I might, not sure, but it's going to be two really cool vehicles and really fun vehicles to build. And they're definitely going to be quick. We could do a roll monster and we could do a dig monster. So we could do the Mustang GT with the Whipple and it just be an absolute badass. We could do an all-wheel drive vehicle as well and make it be a dig monster. I think that's probably going to be the best of both worlds. We'll just have to see. But overall, just to kind of recap, the Dark Horse, it just doesn't make sense to try to go fast in a Dark Horse. It's first of all, it's way overpriced. It's super expensive on top of the MSRP to do that. It just doesn't make sense. There are other vehicles in that segment that are a lot better buys. It just doesn't make sense. The rear gears definitely doesn't help. And the fact that I have a new work car program coming up, having a super expensive car and then having to buy a super cheap car as a work vehicle, I was like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Why don't we get two really cool vehicles and have them both for the channel and also want to be a work car? That'd be sick. So if anyone is on the fence about getting a Mustang Dark Horse, if you're going to keep it stock, if you have no itch, no desire whatsoever, and you're going to track the vehicle, get it. If you're not going to track the vehicle and you do want to modify the vehicle, it just doesn't make sense. And with the fear of blowing out your transmission in seventh gear, I don't know, guys. It's even last thing I'll say about that is even if you get the transmission built by somebody like Midnight Performance, that seventh gear is still so weak it can blow. There you go. Don't believe me? Just look it up. Just look it up. Do some research. They advise seventh gear at high horsepowers, even in their built transmissions. So just giving you guys an insight of why I sold the vehicle, it's going to help the channel overall. I'm going to be able to actually bring you guys some cool car content and some fast car content, because I'll be honest, these last 6 months or so, having a 500 horsepower car, which is super slow based off what I've told you guys, what I've had in the past, it just didn't make sense. I enjoyed the tech and the interior of the car, but that's about it. I didn't really enjoy anything else. It looked okay. I like the paint color, stuff like that, but that's stuff you could do to a regular Mustang GT for that matter, or just get a different vehicle and actually like that and the way it looks too. So it really didn't matter at that point. But just want to provide you with an update on why I sold the car, uh, things I have in mind, and what the channel is going to look like moving forward. There's going to be big things coming. We're going to go back to being fast. We're going to go back to really good Mexico races. It's winter now, so I'm going to be saving the money. Going to get that money up, and we're gonna go all in next year. It's going to be a good time. So that's it with me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think and your thoughts in the comment section down below. Smash the like button. I'll see you guys in the next one.